Hello, Rob from Van Compass here, and today we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of a traditional strut versus our new inverted rally strut. So the build quality on the OE strut uses a simple stamped steel metal bracket to attach it to the steering knuckle. Now our new inverted rally strut uses this billet 6061 extrusion that we then machine critical tolerance points so that we have a clamping force that is unparalleled compared to the OE damper. And what does that mean for you? Well, when you're really pushing the van to the limits off-road, you're much less likely to be able to knock the van out of alignment. Now a strut sees a tremendous amount of side load forces. To counter that and make sure the damper will last a long time, you have to run as large DU bearing as possible on your shock shaft to strut body interface. Here in an OE, in a traditional style strut, you can see this DU bearing is pretty small. In our inverted rally strut, our strut bearing surface area is giant in comparison to the OE. It's so much larger, in fact, it's a 600% increase in DU bearing surface area. Now the solution for a traditional style strut, in order to be able to get this DU bearing surface area large enough to account for the side load forces that the vehicle sees, while still be able to hold up for a reasonable amount of time, is you must run a very large diameter shock shaft. Well, the negative this presents now is when this shock shaft is fully compressed into the strut body, your volume remaining in the strut body for oil is very limited. On our inverted rally strut, our DU bearing surface area is not on the shock shaft itself, which is internal into this body. Our DU bearing surface area is riding on the strut body to strut tube interface here. So our bearings are here, and the size increase is 600% larger compared to the stock DU bearing surface area. Now the OE damper has a boot that protects the shock shaft, and it uses this wiper seal to clean the shock shaft as it plunges into the oil. And you still get contaminants into your oil from both DU bearing surface area wear, as well as salt, dirt, mud, sand, water, whatever, that does make it past the boot and the wiper seal. It's going to get in the oil. The oil gets dirty. Inverted rally strut, we don't have that problem. Again, really nice high-end OE level boot. We have an extremely high-end wiper seal that is protecting our DU bearing surface area. But remember, that's only for our DU bearing surface area. That has nothing to do with our internal damper itself, because that shock shaft is in this contained unit that is the lower strut body. Our oil stays clean. It's not exposed to salt, sand, water, mud, dirt. It never sees any exposure to the elements. The OE damper is high volume, low quality, cheap shock absorber. It's not the case here with our Falcon inverted rally strut. This is a precision high-end race damper. Now that doesn't mean that we're dealing with a finicky shock absorber that requires constant rebuilds. We're expecting this to outlive the van itself. Our shock tuning, our spring rates, our valve codes that we tailor specifically to the weight of your vehicle are unbelievably on point. Now our current suspension systems work extremely well in improving the sprinter van's on-road and off-road performance. But this new inverted rally strut unlocks those packages. You will experience an upgrade in performance that you didn't know was possible with your suspension system that's already on the vehicle. Our red van here has our traditional kit. The only difference is this front strut, which unlocked the full potential of that chassis. Now this strut package is available for two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive sprinter van models in a monotube, non-adjustable configuration, and our 3.3 fast adjust setups shown here. I think currently sprinters are often laughed at. They're the butt of the joke in the overland world and the off-road world because it's just a silly cargo van. This changes that. This really changes it. These things are true performance machines with this suspension setup on it.